I found out about my husband's infidelity in the 6th month of pregnancy.
Hello everyone, thank you for watching. Today, we will learn about cheating stories. At the end, a bonus funny story awaits you.
Last night, I went through his phone specifically. His mobile banking app to check how he spent the money his parents sent him for his birthday. At first, I didn't understand some iris. $2,300. Then, a couple of hours later, half of that amount came back from Megan Rachel R***. And that's when everything clicked. I know exactly who this woman is. This was the first time I ever checked his mobile banking. I didn't know the password, but knowing my husband, I guessed it on the first try. He swears it was just one time just 3 days ago, no less. What are the odds I caught him so perfectly? It's like fate guided my hand. I didn't expect this at all. I thought he had spent it on computer parts. Right now, I'm in so much pain there are no words to describe it. I don't know how to live with him now or what to do next. We have 3 kids. We've been together for almost 16 years. I know I'm partly to blame, and he reminds me of it constantly. The truth is, I rarely want sex. It's just not in my nature, and he's known that from the beginning, at least since our 2nd wedding. He's always held it against me. Before, I used to fake it for his sake, but I stopped about 10 years ago. I just don't want to anymore. Once or twice every 2 weeks is enough for me. I even told him I'd do whatever he wanted, as often as he wanted, just without the expectation that I'd finish too. Sorry for the details, but I guess that wasn't enough for him. And to be fair, I have my own sins too. He knows about them. 7 years ago, I had my own mistake. It was like a spell, pure chemistry. Back then, we had just started living together again after our divorce. He had been off with someone else for 3 years, and when we reunited, it was tough. We felt like strangers, barely more than roommates. Even his own mother told me he regretted coming back. So I found myself a distraction, or rather, he found me. But I confessed immediately, and my husband forgave me. Since then, I've never given him a single reason not to trust me. And now? The woman he was with last night, Megan, is an ex from 11 years ago. I found out about her by accident when I was 9 months pregnant. That was when I divorced him the first time. 4 years later, he came back, saying he had made a terrible mistake, that he needed me. We got remarried. And now, I have no idea what to do.
I apologize for this long post. I just need to get it off my chest and hear other people's opinions. Do I move on? What do I do next? I feel completely lost. I don't want to talk to my family about it. But it feels like a piece of my heart has been ripped out, and I want to scream, to cry from the betrayal, but there are no tears, just emptiness. After 14 years of marriage, M37, F35, I found out yesterday that my husband is cheating. Or rather, yesterday, he hired prostitutes, and I caught him in the act. While I was at work and the kids were at daycare, he was having his fun. I just don't understand why swear loyalty and love, only to do something like this. Why build a family, have kids, buy a home together, only to live a separate life? Because of this worthless excuse of a man who never valued my faithfulness, care, and love, I'll now be joining the ranks of single moms. Our sex life was great, so what else was missing? What hurts me the most is that we're struggling financially right now. My child needs new glasses, but we're making do, gluing the old ones together for now. And yet, he just threw 36 grand at a prostitute straight into the trash. I take this as proof that he couldn't care less about his children. His only priority is getting his dick wet. To me, he's dead. As a man, I can't even look at him anymore. He's garbage. Now, I want to cheat on him too. I found a profile offering services from men, and I'm ready. After all, we only live once. And apparently, loyalty doesn't mean a damn thing anymore. Thanks to anyone who read this. There's a lot more I could say, but I won't turn this into a full novel.
We've been together for 3 years, and living together for a little less. Everything has been great, and we've never had problems in bed. We argue over small things, but it always blows over quickly. Love each other very much. But this past week, I noticed him acting strangely. He changed his Telegram password, and my intuition told me something was off. Finding out the new password wasn't hard. Yes, yes. What I saw there shocked me to the core. I went completely pale, had a full-blown panic attack. A chat with some girl. Hey, found you here. I want you. They were exchanging intimate photos, and the conversation was always leading toward meeting up and booking a hotel room, though the meeting kept getting postponed. To this day, they haven't actually met. They started talking on the 19th, and both have partners, and both are fully aware of it. He even mentioned me, saying I was in the next room. She did the same. I don't know what made him do this. He had similar experiences before we got together, so I get that he was just looking for sex, but still I never would have known if not for my intuition. And now I'm in so much pain. I don't know what to do. I'm scared. I know I could forgive him, but it's all so complicated. This is my first time dealing with something like this, so I'm asking for advice. What should I even say to him? How do I start this conversation? What conclusion should I be drawing from this? I'm afraid the problem is me. Deep down, I don't want to break up with him. But I can't get the image of her naked body and their messages out of my head. Right now, he's sleeping, but I haven't slept at all. In a few hours, we might have to go run errands together, and I have no idea what to do. Should I even tell him I went through his phone? What are the consequences of that for me? I feel completely stuck. Possible options. Ignore everything. Let him screw around as long as he doesn't bring home an infection just new bedroom techniques. Maybe even a threesome? Life happens. Say nothing, just leave. Why even explain anything to him? Sit down and have a calm, rational conversation. Explain clearly and logically why I went through his messages. The discussion would be in the style of, why did you do this? And what do we do now? Honestly, the topic of cheating should have been brought up at the very start of the relationship, agreeing to discuss problems openly, making direct suggestions, and even consulting each other if feelings arise elsewhere. Any demand, including fidelity, without guaranteed consequences, is just wishful thinking. If this possibility never even crossed our minds, then we simply weren't thinking.
Alone against the world. Pregnancy was supposed to be a happy time, but from the very beginning I had doubts. It felt like he was hiding something. Then I found his Instagram accounts. He swore it was just casual chatting, nothing more, but his relationship with his ex-wife also seemed strange and suspicious. We were constantly fighting, trying to uncover the truth, interrogating each other. In all this chaos, I didn't even notice how time slipped away. I missed the window for an abortion. In the end, we divorced by mutual agreement. Now I have 2 weeks left until the birth, and he has completely disappeared. No calls, no help. It's like we never existed. All I know is that now he's living with the same woman he met when our relationship started falling apart. Do I regret it? I don't know yet. Maybe time will tell. But I wouldn't wish this kind of pregnancy where you're climbing the walls from loneliness on anyone. I feel abandoned, like I'm all alone against the world. And I'm scared. How will all of this affect my baby? My life has turned 360 degrees. I still can't fully grasp that everything is different now. I'm trying to stay strong. At least I wasn't financially dependent on him. I had my own savings and worked until the very end. But honestly, I'm scared.
I was dating a man. We were together for a year and a half. We met when I was visiting my sister in another city. I fell in love instantly. For the first 6 months, I practically lived on the train traveling to see him every weekend. He would drive to me a couple of times a week. Then we went on vacation together. Everything was perfect. We spent 4 weeks on that trip and realized we wanted to live together. He was the one who suggested it. He started looking for an apartment. I had wanted to move to his city for a long time. My sister had been inviting me for years, but I never had the courage. And then I just flew to him, and that's when the fun began. Texts at 3 in the morning from someone, passwords on his phone, tablet. I wanted to watch a movie, opened his laptop password again. I asked why, and he said it was because of his nephews who visit. At the same time, he introduced me to all his friends, always talking about how he had met the love of his life. My sister was the one who caught him. She saw him at a cafe with some woman. He told her it was just a random acquaintance, so I simply took his phone and asked him to unlock it. He hesitated. I told him either he unlocks it or I'll hack it myself. He unlocked it, and there it was, a bunch of dating apps. A gallery full of naked women, photos of him with them, and so on. When I asked, why? He just said, I'm a man, we're all like this. That it was just a pastime for him, but he loved me. I packed my things and left. Spent a week at my sister's. Now I'm renting my own place. He still calls sometimes, saying he regrets losing his love. But I feel nothing but disgust when I look at him.
I'm writing to vent. My husband is cheating with the wife of my cousin. We've been married for 6 years and we've known each other for over 12. I found out about the affair almost 2 years ago when I was 6 months pregnant. I accidentally saw incoming calls from a relative on his phone. Esh would call and hang up, and he would call back. Later, I downloaded an app to monitor calls over the past 6 months and saw the whole situation. They would call each other 30 times a day. The most interesting part is that they are from the same city, went to the same school, and she suffered after him all her life, but he ignored her. When we started dating, she tried to break us up, calling at night, but then she got involved with my brother and got married. That was in 2011. My brother and I were never close, but our common sorrow brought us together, and in 2016, our families started interacting and became friends. I always remembered her feelings for my husband, so our relationship was neutral. In 2017, she started pushing to be closer friends with me. I decided to keep my enemies closer. So now I know a lot of interesting things about her, a lot of compromising information. Anyway, when I first saw the calls, I fought with my husband, kicked him out of my apartment the next day, though I don't have any financial means. 2 weeks later, after many apologies, he came back to make amends. I forgave him, we discussed the situation, and I asked if he might be in love. I'm a person, I'll understand. Why torture each other? He said he loves me, promised not to see or call her anymore, and I believed him. And today I saw his work phone, got curious again, downloaded the program, and saw the same thing. I'm sitting here crying, not knowing what to do. We won't divorce. Our son is 8 months old. We can't live on social assistance either. The financial aspect bothers me the most in this situation. I want to hear stories from women who left their husbands with such young children in their arms.
At the very beginning, I admit it. I'm a disgusting, poisonous, and altogether treacherous snake according to my family and close ones, so you can't doubt it. But I do have one virtue. I'm not jealous. The knowledge that my partner is sleeping with someone else doesn't even spark my curiosity. However, once, because of my husband's infidelity, I nearly lost it. I returned from a business trip. Nope, didn't guess it right. I come home, have dinner, shower, go to sleep. The next morning, I'm getting dressed, picking up some tights from the ottoman. I realize these aren't mine. I've been buying tights from the same brand for years. Women will understand it's impossible to confuse them. The color's right, the size is right, but these are not mine. What's more, they're carefully mended at the big toe, and I don't repair tights, I throw them out. So, some star walked away in my tights. I yelled like crazy. Half an hour later, my husband figured out that my issue was the stolen tights and started calming me down with promises to buy new ones, a lot of new ones. I took a deep breath, remembered the touching repair at the toe, and said, and for her too.
Like, subscribe, and leave a comment. There will be a lot more cool content and you will help me a lot.